everyone, here are some fun games to teach your dog to switch sides. The first way is getting your dog to switch sides in front of you. So you're going to teach your dog to follow a lure in one hand at your side like this, and then switch to the other hand. So you might just simply do that by backing up and having the dog follow one hand to the other like that. Good. And then when your dog has mastered that, you're having your dog on your left side, and then you ask them to switch to the other. I jiggle my hand like this, but you could say follow. And then to get your dog to finish on the other side, if you have a very large dog like this, you're going to have the dog further away from you, take a step back, and then pull them forward closer to you like that. Good job. If you have a smaller dog, you don't need to do this, but if you have a very large dog, they're not going to be able to turn. If they put their feet where they should end up, their head is going to be in the way and they're going to bump their head into your leg. So they need to be further away from your body and make more of a half circle to get into that position. So if you have a tiny dog, you could use the rear end awareness exercise where they put their front feet where they're going to end up and turn on the spot. But if you have a larger dog, it's going to look much prettier if they're further away from you before they make the turn to get into the position next to you. A very basic way to teach finish is that you're luring the dog towards you as you back up with one foot, turn them around and bring them forward like that into the heel position on your left or right side. Get it? So for your dog, you might need to give multiple treats. One for lining up into a nice place to begin the behavior, following the treat back like this, and turning, good, and then coming forward, good. So it's going to take time for the dog to learn to turn. Good job. And then you won't have to take the step. So you can add a verbal cue, free. So this side is called line up. Good. And this side is called finish. Good. If you've already trained your dog to use platforms, you can use platforms to help you teach the dog what position you want them to be in, if that's something you've already worked on. So having one on the left and the right, and you're just sending your dog to finish on each side on the platform. So the very basics is asking your dog to move in front of you and finish on the other side. As your dog gets better at this, you can hold the lure higher and further away from the dog, and then have no lure in your hand and add a verbal cue to the behavior. Ready? Magic. Wand. Good. You could also have your dog switch sides by weaving your legs. If you have a very long dog though, I suggest making a turn. So if your dog's on the left, you turn left, and if your dog's on the right, you turn right as they switch to the other side so that you don't trip over the back of their body as they're coming through your legs. So I'm going to say legs and then turn this way. Good. And then legs and then turn this way. Good. Legs, heel, legs, tight, legs, heel, legs, tight. Good. Another fun way to train your dog to switch sides is having your dog switch sides behind you. So I can say left turn, heel, right turn, tight. Good. You could also just have the dog switch sides without the fancy turn like this. So they're backing up a little bit and then just finding the correct side to be on. But I like the fancy turn. So to train that, you first have to work on teaching your dog to spin in a circle at your side like this. So once you can flip your dog out like that, you're just going to pick them up on the other side. So I'm going to turn her around. This hand is going to disappear, and then the other hand is going to draw her attention. So on the right side, it's the opposite way, and you want to work on both sides equally for your dog's body. So here we go. I'm going to spin her out on this side like that, and then I'm going to spin her and have this hand disappear and the other hand pick her up in the left heel position. Tight. Good. Left turn, heel, right turn, tight. Good. Another way to switch sides that looks fancy is having the dog back through your legs and take a step forward to get into the position on the other side. So he's going to back through and then take a step forwards. Obviously, if you have a tiny dog, they're going to take a few more steps to get back into the right position. Good job. And you can just follow the backwards weaving tutorial that I'll link in the description, and you just do one backwards weave and then cue the position at your side. So this is, for me, tight. So I'll say turn back through to heel, flip back through to tight. Nice.